Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace be upon us all. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, and greeting of virtue. The Honorable Mrs. Nikmatu Inaya as a lecturer in research methodology and my beloved friends, permitted me to introduce myself. My name is Dara Avril Titanya, student of Semarang State Polytechnic from 3rd Accounting C number 7. In this opportunity, I would like to present the final proposal project with the title Implementation of Income Tax at PT XYZ. Well, my proposal consists of 6 chapters. There is background, formulation of the problem, purpose, benefit, literature review, and research method. Okay, so now first of all, there's the background. So, Income Tax Article 21 tax on income in the form of salary, wages, honoraria, allowance, and other payments received or obtained by an individual domestic taxpayer in respect of employment or occupation, services, and activities. Therefore, government agencies and companies paying employees or employees must implement the calculation of Article 21 income tax on income received by employees every month. This research was conducted at PT XYZ. Furthermore, the purpose of this study was conducted to analyze the calculation and withholding of Article 21 income tax on employees of PT XYZ, whether it has been in accordance with the tax law number 36 of 2008 on income tax. The result of this study indicates that the calculation, deduction, deposit, and reporting of Article 21 applied by PT XYZ is not in accordance with law number 36 of 2008 on income tax Article 4, paragraph 1. Namely, the calculation of income tax Article 21 permanent employees due to the company does not include attendance allowance in the calculation. Okay, now the second one is company background. PT XYZ itself was founded in 1953 and has grown rapidly operates to this day to become one of the sales companies and leading distribution in Indonesia. Currently, XYZ products are distributed well for multinational and local companies by product groups starting from consumer, pharmaceutical and health, cosmetics and care personnel, household cleaners, formula milks, and drinks. Next is formulation of the problem. So the formulation of the problem of this study is whether the calculation, deduction, deposit, and reporting of Article 21 income tax by the company is in accordance with the tax provisions applicable to PT XYZ. Next, so the purpose of this research is to determine whether the calculation, deduction, deposit, and reporting of income tax 21, which is calculated, withheld, deposited, and reported by the company is in accordance with the Article 21 tax regulation that apply at PT XYZ. So next, there is a benefit. There are 3 of the benefit of this study. So the first one is input material, which is as input material for PT leaders and staff, PT XYZ regarding procedures for implementing income tax, especially income tax Article 21 and or Article 26. Number 2, there is apply knowledge. So to apply the knowledge obtained by researchers in lectures, and the last one is reference source. It is as a reference source for future researchers who intend to conduct similar research. So the next is literature review. So there are some of the points of literature review, and the first one is definition of tax and income tax. So the tax itself is a state obligation in the form of service and the active role of citizens and other members of society to finance various state needs in the form of national development, the implementation of which is regulated in law with the aim of the welfare of the nation and state. Tax Law number 28 of 2007, Article 1 concerning general provision and tax procedures states that tax is a mandatory contribution to the state owed by an individual or entity that is coercive based on the law with no direct compensation, and it is used for purposes to the country is as much as the prosperity of the people. and the definition of income tax. So generally, income tax is a tax imposed on a tax object on income received or earned in one tax year. But income tax, according to Law Number 36 of 2008, which is the fourth amendment to Law Number 7 of 1983 concerning income tax, is any additional economic capability received or obtained by a taxpayer, whether originating from Indonesia or from outside Indonesia, which can be used for consumption or to increase the wealth of the taxpayer concerned by name and in any shape. Meanwhile, according to PSAK number 46 concerning income tax accounting, income tax is a tax calculated based on tax regulations, and this tax is imposed on the company's taxable income. Point number 3. Subject of Income Tax Article 21. Article 3, Director General of Taxes Regulation number PER 31, PG 2012 states that income received withholding from income tax Article 21 is employees, recipients of severance pay pensions or pension benefits, old age benefits or old age security, including their beneficiaries, non-employees who receive or obtain income in connection with the provision of services, including experts who carry out independent work consisting of lawyers, accountants, architect, musical performer, presenter, and service provider in all fields, members of the Board of Commissioners or Supervisory Board who do not also serve as a permanent employees of the same company, former employee, and the last one is activity participant who receive or earn income in connection with their participation in activity. Point number 4. There are income tax object Article 21. So income that is deducted from Article 21 and or Article 26, there is income received or earned by permanent employees. Number 2, the income that the pension recipient receives or obtained regularly is in the form of pension money or similar income. Number 3, income is in the form of severance pay, pension benefits, old age benefits, or old age security paid all at once, the payment of which lasts for a period of 2 years after the employee stops working. Number 4, income of non-permanent employees or freelance workers. Number 5, rewards to non-employees, including in the form of honorary. The next one is point number 5. There is non-taxable income, or as known as PTKP. The amount of permanent employees' net income that is deducted from Income Tax Article 21 is the total gross income reduced by position fees amounting to 5% of gross income, maximum of 500,000 rupiahs a month or 6 million rupiahs a year, and contribution related to salaries paid by employees to pension funds whose establishment has been authorized by the Minister of Finance or the Old Age Benefits Administering Body. PTKP is only given to individuals who need daily living expenses and is not given to corporate taxpayers, so PTKP can be interpreted as the minimum living expenses needed by individuals or individuals as determined by the income tax law. Amount of non-taxable income or PTKP, the Minister of Finance is to determine the amount of PTKP by considering economic, monetary, and principal development each year. So the condition are, the first one is 54 million rupiahs for individual taxpayer and 4,500,000 rupiahs additional for married taxpayer, 54 million rupiahs additional for wife whose income is combined with her husband's income, 4,500,000 rupiahs additionally for each member of the same blood and family in the straight line of descent, as well as adopted children who are fully dependent, a maximum of 3 people for each family. Next, there is income tax rate. If daily or average income a day income has exceed 200,000 rupiahs a day throughout cumulative income received within one calendar month yet exceeding 1,025,000 rupiahs is subject to a tariff of 5% on the basis of calculating the amount income which exceeds 200,000 a day. And then pension ransom money, ENT money or GHT. Severance pay received employees or former employees except not more than 25 million. which is the first one is 20 million to 50 million with a rate of 5%. The second one is 50 million to 100 million with rate of 10%. The next one is 100 million to 200 million with rate of 15%, and more than 200 million with rate of 25%. Okay, next is taxpayer obligations and rights. There are some of point of the obligation and rights of taxpayers. The first one is the taxpayer obligations. They are register yourself to get NPWP, reporting his efforts to be confirmed as a PKP, and then calculate and pay your own taxes correctly. Complete the SPT correctly. The SPT is taken by yourself and submitted to the tax service office within the specified time limit. And then organizing bookkeeping or recording. If checks isn't mandatory to, you have to do to show or land book or notes documents that are the basis, and or provide the opportunity to enter a place or room that is deemed necessary and provide assistance to make the examination run smoothly. And if at the time disclosing the books, record, or the documents and finance requested, the taxpayer is bound by obligation to keep them confidential. And then the right of taxpayer are, the first one is submit objection letters and appeal letters, and then receive proof of income tax return, and then make correction to the SPT that has been entered, submit a request to postpone the filing of the SPT, submit a request for a postponement or installment of the tax payments, submit a request for a calculation of the tax imposed in the tax assessment letter, receive refund of tax overpayment, and file objection and appeal. So next, there is a research methodology based on data classification according to characteristic and according to source. So the first one is according to characteristic. So the types of data used in this research are a quantitative data, which is namely data in the form of numbers needed in research, and qualitative data, which is namely data in the form of written information such as company policies regarding to amount of salary and benefits received by employees. And the second one is according to the source. There is a primary data, which is namely data obtained from direct interviews with authorized parties at PT-XYZ, and secondary data, which is namely data obtained directly from PT-XYZ data, which is related to the topic discussed. Okay, headed up next. There is data collecting method. There are two types of data collecting method. The first one is observation, and the second one is documentation. So to obtain the information needed to conduct this research, the following data collection techniques were carried out. The first one is observation, which is namely by making direct observation on research objects regarding to the implementation of operational activities at PT-XYZ. And the second one is documentation, or document analysis, is a data collecting technique by searching company documents that support research needs. And the last one is a writing method. So writing method is the analytical method used in this writing is a descriptive method, namely explaining the implementation of income tax calculation Article 21 at PT-XYZ. So the step for implementing income tax Article 21 are follows. Number one is collect and study related company documents. And the very last one is a writing method. So the analytical method used in this writing is a descriptive method, namely explaining the implementation of income tax calculation Article 21 at PT-XYZ, and the step for implementing income tax Article 21 are as follows. The first one is collect and study related company documents. The second one is study procedures regarding calculation, deposits, reporting, and recording. And the third one is analyze and compare the calculation of income tax Article 21 according to the company or not according to the applicable tax provisions. Okay, that's all my presentation, and I have already presented all the content of my final assignment. And thank you so much for your attention. See you!